interrupt you and ask you to stop, but so we just ask that you be courteous and stop at the 3 minutes so that the next person has an opportunity to
speak. Tammy Curry.
Good evening. First I want to say, how many of you here that are opposed to this new school? Please raise your hand. Anybody here that's for this?
Wow, pretty dance.
Okay. I'd like to start by saying a quote that I really means a lot to me. Compromise does not mean cowardice. But cowardice is a fault. And I see a lot of faults. And I see a lot of cowardice. And it scares me. I'd like you to know the reason a lot of these people are here tonight, and I really wish there would be more, and there will be more in the future, so expect it. It's a small team of us with boots on the ground. And we went door to door and business to business. And we handed these people flyers. And you know what we heard a lot? We'd really like to come. We're really opposed to this. But guess what? They made up their mind. We're not going to be able to do anything about it because you can't force people like this to move and budge. I said, yeah, you can. It's true. You're serving your own agendas. We know this. But you can't deny this crowd of people, can you? And you cannot deny all the petitions and the polls that we have presented to you and the media has presented to you. We are opposed to this. Why do you not listen? I have to say, too, I'm very happy with podiums like this now, too. But, you know, you can't ignore us. You can deny. You can deny what we want. You can deny what we've been begging and pleading for, what all these people have stood here for since August and begged of you. Please stop this. But you're not going to do it. So I'm going to keep on saying what I've been saying from the beginning of this. We're here to fight. We're not going to give up the fight. I keep saying every week, I'm not going back. I'm tired. I'm worn out. I'm being attacked publicly. But I'm not going to give up. I won't give up. I'm going to leave you with 3 words. Not right now. Thank you.
Can't hear you.
The Extracurricular and Activities Committee, they met last Monday evening. The agenda included Mr. Schroeder's alternative proposal to building a new school. The discussion continued with the committee meeting, knowing full well Mr. Schroeder could not be attending this meeting. The majority of the meeting time was used to hear his plan down without giving him due process and to defend his position. One long-winded opinion of the plan included calling it a stupid plan. I looked up the word stupid in the law dictionary, thinking maybe in the lawyer's world, stupid takes on a different meaning. Nope. It means not intelligent, not sensible, or not logical. This led me to the code of conduct for the school board members. It is stated, school board members should work together in a spirit of harmony, respect, and cooperation, despite differences of opinion. We have come to a critical time when the board uses opportunities to be deceitful, insulting, and disrespectful. Shame on those who are guilty. This now considered stupid plan was known not too long ago as a good plan B. It was said that if the bids for the mega school came in over budget, this plan B would be a good alternative. What amount is over budget? And if bids are over budget, then what? Plan B? Huh. We don't believe for a minute Plan B would ever be implemented. What we do believe is that the building will be scaled down and fall within that mysterious budgeted amount. We will then be left with a less than adequate mega school. You've been asked time and time again to stop this project. You all know the timing is not right for a project of this magnitude. You all know the stakeholders paying the bills overwhelmingly oppose this project at this time. We all would love to have a new school Perhaps not this school, but a top-notch school with all the bells and whistles and no self-doubt. Allow the local economy to improve first. Give us that 10 years. Pay off our current debt. Imagine what can be built with nothing else over our head. You say it will cost more to wait. Yes, it probably will. But we'll have more to give in 10 years. How could this be the wrong course to take? And you could possibly stand and call this course of action stupid. Good evening. I'm Cindy Boyer from Chilocca. I'm concerned for the community as the board continues to go forward with the two-school Ben Franklin East Pike plan. I've talked to many people about this, and the opposition is high. I have figures from July 2016 census on the census.gov that state that the population for Indiana County has decreased by 622 since 2015. The civilian labor force consists of only 57.4% of citizens aged 16 and over. Persons over 65 years of age went from 15.7% in 2010 to 17.6% in 2015. We are an aging population. More and more, I see senior citizens working to make ends meet. We cannot continue to afford the tax increases estimated for the next 20 years. We'll be passing on the tax burden to our children. I understand the concern about the Planet Farm e-monies being lost, but I want to note that several errors and misrepresentations were pointed out at the March 13th board meeting. Are these Planet Farm applications valid if they're not factual? This is not a good learning experience for our students now attending Indiana Area School District. Some of them may be interested in community government and beyond. We owe it to them to be truthful and above board with our actions and our words. According to the Pennsylvania Historic Schools Task Force, renovating older schools can help conserve resources and revitalize older communities. Our best schools may be the ones we already have. We need to utilize them well. Small schools do work, and it is the education provided and the desire of the student to learn that is most important. Not how our new building is, or how much that we paid for it. I know many successful young people who have come from small schools who got great educations. Great curb appeal does not do anything for the education student gets. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak yet again. You had a committee meeting last week where arguments were made against Walter Stroh's Plan B to keep our current neighborhood schools open. I'd like to point out that in these arguments, two of Pennsylvania's highest performing schools were referred to as obsolete schools. The Plan B was also referred to as stupid, as was just mentioned. I ask you, how is new construction that is financially feasible in part due to, quote, significant long-term staff reductions? How is a plan that puts people out of work in this economy where we're desperately trying to come up with jobs in order to keep people here? How is Mr. Stroh's plan be stupid and this high-cost job-reducing plan not? From your place of privilege, you sit there and continue to vote this forward against our wishes and pleas, admitting your fear, quote again, that a future school board would again decide to avoid the new construction. We know this is being pushed forward because people don't want it, and the new board will be against it because they'll be from amongst us. Please stop sitting there and thinking you have the right just because you have the power. To think you know better than us. Many of us who have expertise in areas none of you have stood here time after time, pleading with you against this building plan. We are a group of people with drastically different beliefs, political, religious, economic, the gamut. We are neighbors representing every different yard sign you saw back in November. Setting our differences aside, stand up here against you. Pay attention, because this is America. And, sorry, this is America, mind you, in one of the most divisive times our country has seen in decades. Indiana Area School Board, we don't want this school now. And we're not going to give up fighting you on this. Thank you for allowing the community to continue to comment at each school board meeting. A special thank you to Chauncey Ross for being a diligent journalist. I especially appreciate his most recent reporting of the academic and extracurricular committee meeting, at which his board members had a vigorous discussion about the school building and alternate proposals. Might I add, without the benefit of Walter being here. Those board members present came to the conclusion that the alternate plan was, quote, has little academic or financial benefit for the district. One particular quote from the article struck me. A board member stated, "It seems to me to be a stupid way to spend the money." Wow. Meeting after meeting, I have been humbled by residents coming to this podium and speaking publicly about their financial difficulties, their fears, their anxieties, and their concerns. It seems to me to be a stupid way to spend money. That kind of comment, I think, comes from someone who has not listened to the people of this community, or just may not really care. It comes from a place of arrogance, a privilege that comes from wealth and hubris. This community does not have the money to spend on this project, and there has been no real academic data to substantiate the need for this project. It is not a building that reflects the future, just a rebuild of the same mistakes made in the 1950s. And I foresee that this board will make cut after cut on this structure so that it will come in below the expected budget. We might have dirt floors, but we will have a new building. This community cannot afford this project. And as board members, you need to come out of your bubbles and echo chambers and meet the people that you were elected to serve. Sadly, this is a county in decline and no real change on the horizon. Approximately 42% of our students are on free and reduced lunches. The unemployment rate in Indiana County as of December 2016 was reported to be by the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry at 6.9%, up from the previous year of 5.9%, compared to the national rate of 4.7%. Indiana County tied Clinton County for 54th among Pennsylvania's 67 counties, as reported in the Indiana Gazette in February. No, I don't think this community can afford this new school building project, but I do think that there are many things that we are capable of doing. We are capable of loving and caring for its youngest and most vulnerable, our children, as well as trying to take care of an aging population as we watch out and help our seniors in our neighborhoods. We are capable of participating in our schools, joining the PTA, assisting in classrooms, attending school functions, as well as encouraging our children to participate in sports, band, drama, and other extracurricular activities. We are capable of encouraging our children in their education, supporting the educational system.
You're 3 minutes or less.
Anyway,
You're longer.
I thought it was a fire. We are capable of keeping our children warm, safe, and dry. And that is not a stupid way to spend their money.
Mr. Short, what is your street address? You did not put it down here, you just put mine.
780 Swamp Road.
Is that in the Indiana School District?
Well, it's Indiana County. And Indiana, by the time this is all said and done, all of us in Indiana County are going to end up paying.
Let them speak.
In order to seek a public comment, you need to be a resident or taxpayer of this school.
Let them speak.
It's not of the county, it's of the school district.
Well, you know what? Right here are the people that are paying for all this.
Larry
They're
McCoy.
paying a lot more than you people are. These people need to be listened to.
Good evening. Also, thank you for letting us make our comments known. Over the past several months, just like today, we have seen huge community opposition over a plan to build a new elementary school since it's going to incur an enormous additional debt. Citizens have expressed their despair, stating that their views are being ignored. Can you believe it? They can't understand why the school board is just pushing forward during this dismal economy, despite this overwhelming opposition. To better understand, we researched the district policy to see how elected school board members can disregard overwhelming community sentiment. The IASD policy manual section 901 titled Community Relations states, responsibilities of all staff are to give courteous and thoughtful consideration to all inquiries and suggestions and carefully investigate all complaints. We sent a letter to the school board, but we never received an answer to our letter. They're also supposed to cooperate with parent, teacher, and other community groups. 6 school board members are in favor of raising taxes to build a mega school. To try to understand the view of these 6 board members, we looked at each at what they had said when they were initially campaigning for the positions they now hold. I won't mention them by name, but when they hear their own comments, they can raise their hands if they wish to acknowledge. Here are their statements. Member 1 said, if Indiana was a booming town that it was in the 80s, however, our economic times are dire. People are fearful of losing their property, and I cannot support this type of spending in our current economic situation. We need to look how other school districts are managing. Last year, the Greater Latrobe School District educated approximately 1,200 more students in Indiana for the same amount of money. Those school districts operated on approximately $52 million budgets. We need to find out how they manage to provide a highly educated group of students, and they did it at a significantly lower cost per student. I think we need to get the community back in those schools. Oh, I didn't see it didn't go up. But number 2 said, as a school director, I would make sure that there is better communication between the district, with parents, and the community. The communication between district staff, parents, and community is the worst member of the district. School board the one issue is the closing of an elementary school. I think it's time to put that issue on the ballot so we finally put that to the rest. But if the community support increased taxes for elementary buildings, or do we actually close them? The district needs to be careful about raising taxes, but probably can no longer save for tuition without affecting students' education. Thank you.
Comments detailing the campaign promises. And finished with member number 4 stated the first line of preference would be increasing revenue, but clearly increasing property taxes is not the avenue. Indiana County has a large number of people living in poverty and without high school diplomas, and the greatest diversity is in the schools is on the economic scale. But if our priority is the needs of children, then you start to have a discussion that leads to compromise that everyone can live with. This member stated they envision having the community and parents helping to review practices and procedures. Member number 5, my personal objective is to preserve, if possible, to enhance the district's academic and cultural programs at a time when budget constraints are forcing most Pennsylvania school districts to cut classes and programs. I believe that the district is committed to its present alignment of elementary grades, at least until we're able to replace existing school buildings.
Quote, contrary to the opinion of some, I believe that the realignment was the best of a number of imperfect options for the district. We now need to make it work. We will not be able to hire more teachers in the next few years simply because we can't afford it. This candidate said the Indiana Area School Board could be more effective by taking more input from others, stating, quote, we need information from the people who are most directly affected by our decisions. And then finally, member number 6 stated, the decisions this next board will make are, what are we willing to sacrifice in order to maintain or expand areas that we need to put additional resources? I think it's going to require collaboration between the community and the administration and board. If you look at the last 10 years, we've used attrition to reduce the number of teachers as our student population has gone down. The common theme from these 6 members for the school was using community involvement. Words like communication, collaboration, and compromise were used. The members made reference to budget constraints, Indiana's poor economy, declining student population, being unable to save any more through attrition without compromising the academics, and not raising taxes to increase revenue. No one can deny that community relations now are much worse than 2015. Citizens have lost trust in the board's decision focused on bricks and mortar and not on academics. IASD has put us in the bind we're in now. They want to build a new school before paying off the current $6.7 million debt for the ESCO renovations in the schools that they now want to abandon. It's wasteful and unfair to the taxpayers to incur an additional $32 million debt. These members ran on an election stating and saying they agreed with the previous board's decision on the school realignment and were committed to making it work.
Linda Myers. Laura Parker.
Hello. What does it take? What more does this community have to do? Stop this voting project. Stop wasting our money. Stop trying to fix something that isn't broken. Tonight, make a motion to end this nonsense. Stop adding undue stress to the residents of this district. As school board members, you need to be listening to us. We say stop. We have demonstrated our opposition with multiple petitions, letters, and even statements from elected officials. What else does it take? Your proposed building project is not going to be beneficial, but instead it will have long-lasting damaging effects for our academics and our community. And if you worry about the status of our current buildings, just wait until you have to make constant repairs on your new proposed building. An aggressive design phase and a rushed construction timetable is leaving you with a flawed building and site plan that the taxpayers will be paying on for years down the road. By continuing the path you are on, you are not stopping the can from being kicked down the road. You are kicking the debt down the road.
Good evening. I'm Fred Fish. I live at 47 McLean Road and I pay taxes within the school district. A couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, I was watching a YouTube video on the finance committee meeting. And at that time, somebody said that the $1.7 million from hole, or we have a deficit of $1.7 million. I'm like a poor country boy, you know, I can't conceive of what $1 million is. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of money to make. And you want to build a new school. worth 30, 40 million, whatever it is. And you're already in the hole. And the part of this that bothers me the most is that you're going to reach into my pockets without representation to pay for this new school. And I don't feel that we're heard when we're talking here to the school board. I don't feel that we're heard. So there is no representation. I'm saying to you, we can't afford this. I can't afford this. The last time I spoke was in February, and I said, I'm going to be on Social Security in October. You keep whacking my taxes, I'm going to have to leave Indiana. Because I can't afford to live, I can't afford to pay for this new school. I can't afford it personally. I don't think as a community we can afford it. At some point, common sense has got to end of this. You're hearing a lot from a lot of people. There's a lot of passion in this room. People don't want this school. Maybe it's because you want your name on the vote. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make economic sense. I heard a lot tonight that I hadn't heard before, about how Indiana County is shrinking. The working population is shrinking. I don't know how you're going to pay for it. There's nothing in my pocket available to you. There's nothing in my pocket available to me. If I want to do a capital project in my house, I have to save my money. I have to save my pay, so I have to be responsible. In order to build a new capital project, if I want to build a new garage or whatever, I have to save my money. Where's your savings? Where's the money that you have been saving for years to build a new school? I don't think you got it. That's all I got. Thank you.
Good evening. Having been away for a while, I was thinking perhaps in my absence that this problem would have been solved, attention would have been given to it, a compromise would have been reached. That was very idealistic on my part. Imagine my surprise when I read in the Gazette last week, as everyone has alluded to, the comment stupid concerning a compromise plan that could bring a solution to this community. Compromise is not a dirty word. When I taught civics in your school district, I taught that it is the art of politics, to find that common ground and to come together. These people here are going to politics. People have asked me, why are you interested so much in school board meetings, going to school board? It is the essence of grassroots politics. These people are the people who have made in the past. We are not there right now. They are hurting. That point has been made. I have said that when we reach an obstinacy that borders on perceived arrogance, we are in trouble. There has been no real from this board any viable academic reason for this new building. I support my elementary teachers. I have come to this board over the past 25 years supporting them as to what their needs were in their classroom. We have yet to address the white elephant in the room, that as you consider putting this school forth, you are already in negotiations with the teachers union. And you might very well be placing a double burden upon the taxpayers of this district. And I am a strong union person, as you all know. And I was a spokesman for my union. I understand that teachers need to be paid. But the Rolling Stones had a great, great song called You Can't Always Get What You Want. So this board has to look at the choices that are before them. I am very, very surprised to be here again tonight. I thought that common sense would have brought you to some sort of communication level. The false arguments about teachers traveling, the false arguments about the need for autistic children being put into one area of a new building, they don't hold water when it comes to the debt that will be assumed over the next 20 years. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I live on Hazley Lane. Technically, it's Homer City, but it is in White Township, so I am a member of this school district. I'm also a businessman in this school district, and I've been one for 39 years. And I did not stay in business for 39 years by borrowing money that I could not repay. I'm still a working man. But what's wrong with this picture? I'm tired of people addressing the board. I'm going to talk to these people. What's wrong with this picture? The picture is they're gonna raise your taxes 3% every year for the next 20 years.
Boo!
That will basically amount to a 65% tax increase over that 20 years. If it's got 3% of where they're starting, it's going to add on to where they add the next 3%. Just like the bank compound interest. Hey folks, it's called basic math. Did they stop teaching that in schools? You know, we have a board president here that's financial advisor. I'd like to know if anybody would want to accept a deal like this, knowing they don't have the money, they're not going to get their money back. I'm not against the school. What I'm against is the lack of it, the lack of the common sense here. Everybody knows the issues. Everybody knows. We've all said the same thing. But we've got to stop this nonsense. Common sense, folks. Businesses don't run when they can't pay back their loans. Your tax base is leaving. Your businesses are leaving. Your population's shrinking. Come on. Stupid? I'll tell you what's stupid. That's the word of the evening. That's right. Mr. Barber, you owe Mr. Stroke an apology. As far as I'm concerned. For the best interest in the will of the people and for what's the good of the people. Well, they're sure as heck not doing the will of the people. I can see that. And they're not doing right by the people. So, you do with this thing what you want. But if it's all for show, I got one thing to say. Where I come from, show don't feed the bulldog.
Yeah!
Freedom of speech.
Point of order. What was your comment? All right. Point of order. What was your comment?
And you're not supposed to be taking it.
All right. First of all, I moved into this school district by accident. I'm a pastor of a little church in Bernard. Been there for 31 years. I read my Bible every day and I pray every day. And I grew up in a time when you open school with prayer, read the Bible. And I see a situation here where now we have enemy lines drawn here. I feel like I'm looking at the enemy. Why is that? We're supposed to be neighbors. Are we supposed to love each other? Huh? I mean, honestly, the Bible says there's a heaven and there's a hell. And all ours end up in hell. All ours. That includes me, that includes you. Truth of the matter is somebody needs to be truthful here. And nobody's shown any sign of being truthful from what I've heard, things I've come here to. Now, I don't mind paying taxes. I don't send my kids to your school district. I would never send them to your school district. I have a private little school in our church. We educate our kids with little or no expense whatsoever. Let me just say our kids do well. They're in a one-room school setting. 12th grade, kindergarten, all one room. We separate them to teach them. It's not the building that educates children. It's adults that are educating them. I don't know what kind of education they're getting from the lockdown. Roll battle lines like this. Aren't we in this together? I'm not against education. I really ain't. I hear Mr. Hershey called me on snow days and says no school today. I'm glad he called me. Sometimes at 5 in the morning he called me. That's good. Let me just say something right now. If you're going to have these people as your neighbors and friends, it's time for us to be neighbors and friends. And quit this sneaking in the back door. Come in and talk to us. Are you afraid of us? I mean, goodness sakes. I see one board member walked in amongst us out there. That's the one I saw. Was there two? I'm sorry. I apologize. Who was the second one?
These two right over there.
Listen, I believe you could actually talk to us. We're really not going to bite you. And we're not here to fight you. We're in this together, right? This should be a community thing. Like I said, I moved in here by accident. But I'm for you, I'm not against you. And I'm not against you, but I'm for right. It'd be good to see somebody just say, you know what? This would be the right thing to do. Let's just go ahead and talk to the people and get it right. Instead of just being sneaky about everything and hide behind, some little place you go and meet and talk against each other. That's terrible. It's supposed to be a board and you talk against each other. That's crazy. In the church setting, you throw people out of the church to do. That's called division makers. Amen. I'll leave it short, sweetie. I see now we're going out for sports. You guys are showing desperate times. That's what I'm saying. Go to school because you need to get on your right first.
Use that microphone.
What I said was, now we're going out for sports. And you need to kind of get your stuff together here and you need to balance your budget. That's priority one. Get the budget straightened out. How much more cuts are you guys going to make? I read in the Lee Valley line where it was the auditor was up there, and I saw some of the school districts that they went to. It's disgusting how school districts are run. We need financial control of school districts now because school boards, school districts, they are out of control. Out of 5 school districts, 8 are debt-free. How about let us be number 9? And then, so what? Who cares about the others? Well, they might be higher 10 years from now. We do not know what's going on. So all I know is the state might say, okay, Indiana, Homer City, you guys all come along. We're going to build a big school. Everybody can go to that area. Who cares if it's $3,000 the one here has 6 more positions for $30,000. It's off the thing, $170,000 more, and you'll be straight up.
Thank you for letting us speak tonight. Indiana Area School Board's proposed school closure and building project provides little to no academic benefits for students. The district is trying to spend more than $32 million of taxpayers' money to build a totally unnecessary 900-student mega school in White Township. The number one priority of a school board should be quality education for students in the district. Research shows that academic performance tends to decrease in large schools like the one being proposed by this board. This is in part due to the fact that students can fall through the cracks in a big school. Not only that, the 2 elementary schools that this board wants to close are number 1 and number 2 top performing schools in the state in their category. With near universal opposition to this project, it's clear the course this board is on tonight is wrong. Opposing the project are the Indiana Borough Council, the White Township Supervisors, the Armstrong Township Supervisors, the Chillicothe Borough Council, Senator Don White, and Representative Dave Reed. This in addition to thousands of district residents, the editorial board of the Indiana Gazette, and almost everyone of the standing room only crowd you see in this room tonight. Voters have a choice on primary election day, Tuesday, May 16th. 5 people who are running oppose the building project, and there are 4 seats up for election. Voters need to know they should vote for 4 of the 5 candidates who will stand up for the best interest of our students and our district taxpayers. Let's help change the area board this Tuesday, May 16th. We need to remember to vote for Uta Lowry, Tom Harley, Julia Tremarchi-Kukuro, Ken Alt, and Barbara Barker. Thank you very much.
Here's